shot with it, and I was worried about the focusing. The focusing, you don't feel anything. There's no lag. There's nothing that I can see, and stabilization is there. So I love it. I really love it.
I'm Danish. I work at Gulf News. You are?
My name is Steven Siegel, not the actor. I am a professional wedding and fashion photographer.
I'm Pradeep. I'm an Instagrammer and a travel filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Subodh. I'm a travel and portrait photographer.
Z7, everyone's heard about it. What are we expecting?
Something game-changing. I'm thinking when I heard mirrorless was coming out, I wasn't thinking a replacement for my DSLR. I was thinking something compact, lightweight, durable, and hopefully keeping, obviously, the megapixels, because obviously I need to cut in. So that was the big thing for me when I heard Nikon was releasing the mirrorless, and so excited for it.
I'm really excited for it because I was like waiting to shoot video, and it was because I've been using Nikon for like a good 5 years now. And to try something revolutionary in video has always been on my mind, and I wanted Nikon to be in that scheme of things. So that's what I'm excited about.
When it comes to me, I'm a travel photographer, so I do travel to a lot of places with two bodies, and usually it's a D5 on both sides. So I think I always knew that Nikon was going to come up with something like this, but I didn't exactly know when. So I'm really glad it came. At least one of my bodies can be now replaced with something lighter, so that I'm getting old, so I definitely need some.
Let's do this.
All right.
So who's the one who's going to bring it out first? We'll get the camera.
Let's see who gets to it first.
First one who finishes.
Done. Out.
Stop it.
Here we go.
I think that's
Oh, you got it.
pretty small. I mean, compared to what I expected. It's got a good
How's
grip.
the grip?
It's got a good grip. Really good grip.
But I actually really like it. I like the feel, the grip.
I think one of my biggest concerns when it comes to mirrorless was that it will feel like a toy. But to be very frank, it feels like a rock.
Yeah,
that's actually
it
true.
does. It feels really solid.
Because when I'm shooting, usually I end up throwing one camera on the ground when I see a shot, other camera is to the eye. So I think I can do all that continue to do that with this. Yeah, I don't have to change my ways of shooting.
I really like this because I can actually put it on my gimbal and film, and the weight issue is it's not going to be a problem at all.
Weight
Yeah, but
probably
this is what, like with battery, this is 600 grams? That's all?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's incredibly light.
What I love about this camera is, again, the lightweightness of it, if I can put it that way, and then the grip. My finger does come off the end, but it doesn't worry me. It's not a major thing. It's almost like a stabilizer.
Yeah. But you've got giant hands, so.
But what really got to me is the FTZ, being able to be backward compatible, because the big thing is that when you introduce something that's new like this and a new mount, the first worry that I had when I first heard about it was, but I didn't have a worry because the nice thing with Nikon is they generally think back and they're there for the photographer. So no matter what they do, there's normally that backward compatibleness. And with this FTZ mount,
you're good to go. The moment you buy the camera, you have your lenses.
Yeah, you don't have to invest in an
out,
entire new system, which makes all the difference in the world. So for a lot of people like y'all who use it professionally and who've already got their system set up, I mean, buying the kit and you can start out. You don't have to.
It's part of the system.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of the universe.
Yeah, instead of creating something new all over again.
Now, and a big worry that generally happens, and especially, and I know it's sometimes a concern, is that the minute you take out a mount or you do some sort of mount on a camera, that people worry, or people generally worry, and I worry, I must admit I do worry, is what happens to the stabilization, what happens to the focusing. Is the focusing going to be interrupted with regards to
and the overall quality of the image?
Absolutely, and I was fortunate enough to test this camera as well, and what I found is absolutely no lag in focusing, which is key that's with my older lenses. And then as well with regards to stabilization, because I've obviously also read up the 5-point stabilization on the sensor helps stabilization, but then also on the lenses you got VR.
Yeah.
So you got VR, you got the stabilizer, and then you've got digital optimization or digital stabilization, which does crop it down. But I mean, then you've almost got 3 stabilizers that are happening
working together at the same time. Yeah.
So for me, that's an absolute win with regards to it. So I really like that. I think it's a key feature.
Yeah, I'm still loving how nice his body is. I've been pressing every single button all this while, and it's ridiculous. Nothing feels flimsy. It's all in place. The grip feels fantastic. Really nice.
Yes.
Really well made. Really well thought out. Even the adding of the function buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
Like ideally, you would, and as you reduce size, you'd want to cut out buttons. You'd want to remove functionality or add it into the menu system thanks to touchscreen or whatnot. They've not done that. They've kept the entire system still here, except that they've moved it from this side to this
Even
side.
that part which has been moved has been placed here.
Exactly. It's
Everything
not
is here.
disappeared. They didn't remove it. And so functionally, it's still meant for professionals. It's still meant for you to have all the functionality that you would have on your DSLR. You're not losing any of it.
Absolutely.
So that's something very interesting to notice.
I'm a left-hander, so they'll have to probably make a camera for me. But it's far more easier, like moving with my right hand now. It feels more easier when using this camera. So it's nice.
You can turn it this way.
There are a lot of new functions which are there, which I'm trying to figure out, and which was not there in previous versions, but looks good.
I see that on there's the different movie types. That you got MOV and you got MP4, which is quite nice. So obviously, if you don't want to have to convert from MOV to MP4, you can just do it on the move.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of what's the word for it? Cutting edge to do it because you don't have that safe. But love that.
And again, it doesn't feel like a new menu system. It's just
It
the
does.
same
That's
It
old
just
menu
it
system.
seems refined, which
Exactly.
is nice.
I'm glad they didn't replace with something completely fresh. Yeah, it would be.
Because you'd have to start from scratch
from
trying to
scratch.
figure out the camera.
Literally, I can turn this. I literally turned on this camera and it felt. That's my Nikon. That's what it is. We're putting on the lenses.
Yeah, let's do that.
Put that down. I'm going to put a prime.
I'm going to use a 2470 right now
2470.
because that's the lens I use most for all of my shoots.
Okay.
2470 is my workhorse. So it's good to see how small it has become now, compared to previous.
What I like is they brought out the 2470, but look at the size of this 2470.
It doesn't feel like 2470.
Not at all.
That's,
Yeah.
and again, it's adding to that weight, which is nothing.
It makes a lot of sense to reduce so much weight.
I was expecting this to get heavier instantaneously. It didn't.
Yeah, it didn't.
It didn't.
It feels more balanced now.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm kind of liking it, actually, what I'm saying.
That for me was the biggest concern with regards to when I do mirrorless is representation of color.
Correct.
And for DSLR photography, we look and we see, obviously, and then we accommodate accordingly. But what's so amazing is it's really replicating color phenomenally.
Yeah.
Which is
It's actual colors, which you are seeing outside here. Usually we expect electronic viewfinder to kind of manipulate the colors or the reality.
absolutely.
It doesn't. Yeah, it feels real.
For me, I feel this is a huge advantage in video because before, when I was using a DSLR, there were times when I preferred looking into the viewfinder, but Nikon never, or any DSLR for that matter, never gave the option of actually looking into the viewfinder and shooting video. You always had to keep it on live view. But with this, I can actually look into the viewfinder and shoot video.
Yeah.
So that's a huge advantage.
And, sorry, one really small thing, but this is super comfy.
Which one?
The sponge. It's not hard plastic.
Yeah.
That's a really nice little
cushioned.
thought. Yeah.
It's cushioned.
It's a nice little thought.
But I want to get back to that, the actual color here is what I tend to do with the Nikons, and what I love about the Nikon brand is that you've got picture style and picture control. And what you do is, I obviously flick through the menu and you'll see on the set picture control, you can choose different types of filter types.
Yeah.
Similar to your like Instagram filters. And then what I tend to do is, obviously I set up this picture control. Let me just put it in the right mode. I put it in picture control, see what sort of image I want, if it's monochrome, high contrast, low contrast. And then what I end up doing is I have to shoot, then look at what I'm getting, then adjust from there. Whereas what I've noticed when I'm shooting with this is I can actually see the color cast coming through here. So I'm seeing what I'm going to get before I get it.
Yeah.
Which again, with regards to its efficiency, with regards to your camera. So I absolutely love it that it does that.
I think one of the biggest relief is, usually it happens with the optical viewfinder in my DSLR. If I want the focus point to be in the extremes, I have to put the live view, I have to move the focus point.
Yeah.
But now I can do it right here. because inside the focus point is covering almost 100% of the area.
Yeah.
You see inside, number of focus points, corner to corner. Yeah.
What I've found also is that with regards to these lenses, when you're using obviously the S-line lenses, on our normal lenses, what you get is when you're doing that follow focus or you're trying to track something, you get that
the shift.
nothing on the S-line.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, and the transition that picks up is phenomenal. I was testing it out that I had a subject in front and I panned past it with the focus on the foreground, and it literally took a couple of split seconds to automatically pick up the subject that was behind it. It's almost like it was reading my mind. I absolutely
It's like a
loved
focus
it.
pull inbuilt.
Brilliantly, effortlessly.
Another thing which I just noticed was that you're being able to shoot 120p in real time as well as slow motion. So that's something which I haven't seen in any other brand. Like for example, your frame size and frame rate. Nikon, the D850 had 3 options to shoot in slow motion at 120 frames. But with the new Z7, you have 2 options of shooting in 120 frames. One in real time and the other one in slow motion.
Okay.
What are your thoughts now on storage? Because obviously there's that contentious thing with regards to
I
one
shot
slot.
quite a bit of video actually with this, and because I'm using pretty much the same battery, and I made sure that it was on live view because most of my video work is using a live view. So I did not face any issue so far, and even my storage, I got close to 80 videos on my XQD, and which is fair enough.
I've done a lot of my trips on a 64 GB, exact same cards, XQD cards, 64 GB.
Yeah.
9 days, I go somewhere, I shoot every single day, morning to night.
Yeah.
And I don't remember ever running out of space with one card. I don't know what's the fuss really about. Yeah.
But then talking about that, the battery life.
Battery, I think another advantage with battery is it's the same old battery that Nikon uses.
So back with
Whatever you have, just
I
throw it
already
in.
have
Yeah.
5 batteries
Yeah,
with me.
we all
so
have
all I
batteries.
need to do is just flip out one battery and put the other battery.
Yeah. And this is not the usual mirrorless battery we expected.
Yeah.
This is the normal Nikon battery.
which is great.
Yeah.
And I
It's
think it's also
fantastic.
part of being relative. I mean, it depends on what you're shooting, what sort of settings you're doing. Because the one thing that bugs me a lot with some of the blogs is that you'll see is that we don't always get to see what auto functions are engaged and what's turned off to make that camera look phenomenal, or the battery use or the
Yeah.
quality look phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, so for me, when I look at things and people say the battery life isn't too long or whatever, I go and try it for my application. And if it works for my application, which it's doing, it's holding 100%, why should I complain about it? So from that point of view, I got no problem. I love it.
I think the camera is really, really well thought out. That's what I appreciate the most about this. They have kept Nikon users in mind. They have kept people who will consider changing systems or differentiating brands. They've kept everything in mind. That's what I'm liking about this the most. In the recent competition that's been there, the one thing I felt was that they were like, okay, they chose X over Y or this genre over the other. Here, there seems to be a complete package of someone who wants to upgrade from an amateur to a prosumer, for the professional audience, for the video audience, for the picture audience. I see everyone looking at this and going, you know what, this fits my system.
Yes.
So that's what I like the most about this camera.
From my side, I really am so happy that it's exactly what I hoped it would be. It's lightweight, durable, it's got the high megapixel rating, it's fast, the focusing's there, everything that I need to be able to shoot everything from fashion to wedding to street photography, you name it, this camera can be with me and I'll be comfortable having it. And I think that's the thing, it's my Nikon.
Yep.
And that's the key for me. So really, I think well thought of, great camera, all in all, love it.
For me, the biggest thing is that I can now proudly tell everybody that this camera has all the features, and I can do both photography and videography, and there's nothing that this camera doesn't have. So I can proudly boast about it to the other friends who use other brands that Nikon 2 has come better late than ever. So.
In my case, yeah, exactly the same thoughts. I would definitely travel with this. This will be my other camera along with my DSLR because I need to save the weight, because that's the first thing. And secondly, I'm really looking forward to the future because I know there are nocturnal lens coming up because of the flange distance, and it's going to open up 0.95 or whatever. So exciting days ahead. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice one.